Howdy. I've done a lot of articles on blogging, and every once in a while I've talked about repurposing, but I've never really talked about how I repurpose content. So I'm going to talk about how I'm repurposing content from two blogs that I'm shutting down. And it's an interesting dynamic because some of those articles would seem to not fit anywhere, but I'm making them fit. And I want to talk about it. So I shut down a medical billing website. I'm probably one of the few people who could have ever even thought to write anything about that, but I did, and I had a blog, and I had it maybe 3 or 4 years. And I shut down a finance blog, and I had that one just over 11 years. And I wrote a bunch of articles on there, but I had a bunch of guest posts on there as well. I can't say that most of them were any good, but they paid me, or some of them paid me. I wanted extra content. My website was ranked pretty high there for a while, which worked out well because I was able to sell advertising on it. Probably the best guest post I ever had came from the guy who actually sold it to me. And he sold it to me for $15. And then he wrote a few articles, and they were actually very good. And then at one point, when there was all this stuff going on about, what was it? Saying that links might be hurting someone's website. Wow, I'm trying to even remember it. But there were a lot of people who were requesting that you remove links from their sites, and I just wasn't going to do it. And I wouldn't even do it for him. And the thing is, he had created his own blog and website, and it was finance, and my website was finance. So a lot of people really misunderstood what that was about, but who cares? So I'll talk about the finance blog first, because it's the easiest one to deal with. All the articles that are on there that I decided to remove are going onto my accountant's website. Now, I've been writing for her for 4 years, I think. We actually trade services, so I don't get paid for that, but she handles all my accounting, she handles my taxes. And I write or produce 2 articles a week. Now, I got a bunch of articles. And so what I'm thinking about doing is not only just putting 2 on there for a month, because that's all she asked for. I think I'm going to probably at least put 3. I might even go 4. We're going to see. And what you do when you repurpose an article is you don't just like direct copy it. You could do that, but it's better if you decide to rewrite at least 25% of it. I have sometimes rewritten 60% or more. Not because I don't think that my articles were okay initially, but after a few years, if you go looking at something, you say, you know what, I think I could do that better. And so I just tend to do that. I've always done that, which is how come when I write my blog posts, I don't go back and let it sit there for a long time, because I would just always be changing things around. So luckily I have that kind of mind where I write what I want to write and then I publish it. I mean, I check real quickly for spelling errors, and that's pretty much it. I put my links in and then I just publish it, because I will sit there and keep trying to make it better and trying to do all this stuff. And frankly, you can't put out as much, content as I have over all these years if I kept doing that. So, like I said, those are going on my accountant's site, except for a few. For instance, my accountant doesn't necessarily care about teaching people how to save money on a lot of things. So those are going on my Syracuse local website, which also doubles as a website where I put other stuff that I write that I didn't have anywhere else to do. And I've always had that. And since I don't get out as much these days, those articles are going on there. I'm going to do some combining of articles, though, because some of those original articles may have been, 500, 600 words. I mean, you could get away with that back then. So I think I'm going to be combining some of those things and making them a lot longer. There's going to be some rewrites, but I don't mind that, because I think that it will make it stronger. It may not necessarily fit the niche of being a Syracuse blog, but I'll fit some Syracuse things in there and I'll get that covered. So that's how I'm going to handle that. Now, my medical billing is interesting because almost all those articles are going to go on my business website. Now, my business website, I mainly talk about leadership, but I talk a lot about healthcare finance articles. I talk about healthcare in general, the industry, not, how do you save your feet or anything like that. However, I have written articles like that, and those that I decided are pretty good are going on my Syracuse website. So I've got tons of content for both of them. And obviously, like I said, I'm probably going to rewrite a lot of those articles as well. Everything kind of has to fit. I mean, it just doesn't work to do a direct copy. You need to have some time between them, though. I copied so many articles that I pretty much have to wait just 2 weeks overall, and then I can start posting them all. And because I'll be changing the content a little bit, it's not going to look like it's a duplicate. And by the way, Google does not penalize for duplicate content. A lot of people think they do. They don't do that. They've even said they don't do that. So that's what I'm going to do. I can't tell you how many articles I have. I have a bunch. And there's nothing wrong with repurposing your own stuff. Sometimes I've repurposed my stuff that I gave to somebody else who they shut their sites down. Went right back on the internet database, got that thing, and brought it back. As long as it's evergreen. So there you go. Anyway, it's just something to think about. I'm hoping my friend Peter looks at this and decides to go back and do some of his articles because way back in the day, he was writing some really good stuff on one of his blogs. I'll let him tell you what it's called down below if he ever sees this. But he was writing some really good stuff. And I think if he repurposed some of that and changed the dates, that it would help. Who knows? We'll find out. Anyway, my name is Mitch Mitchell. If you like this kind of thing, like the video, subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications. I'm trying to remember to say that all the time, but it's probably not going to work. And yes, I have a bunch of different locations. This is a big house. This is a 5-bedroom house. Just let you know. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful day.